welcome back once again. So, where you been, Rev? Long story. So pretty much right after I filmed the video explaining why I was here at my mother's instead of at my father's, like I had been, my father called me. He said he's getting worse. He was wanting to go back in the hospital. He wanted me up there just to kind of help out and things. Again, sorry if the audio is still bad. I haven't had a chance to set anything up yet. So I went up there. I told him over the phone, I said, look, I'm done with the fighting. Next time it happens, I'm gone, and I'm staying gone. He goes, no, there's no more fighting. We had a long talk after you left. I know I screwed all up your unemployment thing. I'd feel comfortable if you were back up here. Fine. Get in the car, go back up there. Didn't get a chance to film for you guys the entire time I was up there, unfortunately, because I pretty much spent every day trying to get him to go to the hospital, because once I got there, he decided he didn't want to go now. So after about a week, I was like, you know what, there's no point in me being here if you're not going to go up there. So he decides, fine, I'm going to go. He said, he was real bad one night. He goes, I need to go do something. I need to go back up there. I know I've been being stubborn. I've been trying to put it off. I need to go. Okay, let's go. So I get him up to the hospital. They're going to admit him 4 or 5 days, maybe longer. They're going to see where it goes. The entire first night at the hospital, he's a total pain in the ass. He's arguing with everyone. He's arguing with me. He's arguing with the nurses. He's arguing with the doctors. I'm trying to argue on his behalf for the doctors because I understand his frustration, because every time he goes up there, they kind of start back with the same test that they ran last time, doing the same blood work, trying the same medications to start with. I'm like, look, we've already done all this. That's what's frustrating him. He's ready for the next step. What is the next step? And the doctors are kind of like, well, we have to reevaluate what was done, double check everything. That's why we're running the test again, just in case something's changed since last time. And we have to do all this before we know the next step. And I'm like, okay, fine. But, it's getting a little annoying. So I'm trying to fight on his behalf. But then the doctors come in and they say something. And I personally feel like they're making a move towards something. He doesn't see it that way. He wants to argue with them. So I have to argue the doctor's side with him to get him to do what they want him to do. So I'm in the middle of a tug of war. I'm being pulled both ways. Him, the doctors. Him, doctors. And I'm trying to fight two sides of this same war. I'm on both sides of the coin here. And I reached a breaking point where I was like, this needs to stop. Okay? You need to stop fighting with everyone. Take the damn pills, do the test, or we'll go home and I'll leave. I'm done fighting with you, like I said. So I get him to agree to stay there for 24 hours. I said, in 24 hours, if you're not any more comfortable, you're not even a slightest bit better, we'll go home and you can do whatever you want. So he agrees to 24 hours. I come back up the next day, totally different person. He's a lot chipper. He's able to kind of sit down, lean back, which he's been having problems with because of his respiratory issues. The swelling in his feet have gone down. He's just like a totally different person. Even the nurse said, you are completely turned around from the guy I met yesterday when you came in here. And his nurse is a really sweet girl. Unfortunately, she can't work with him 24 hours because she's only there, as long as she can be. She was coming back the next day, but on a different shift. She was being really good with him. She's very attentive to him. A lot of the nurses will come in and be like, here, take your pills, and as soon as you take them, they just leave. She'd come in, take your pill, I got your pills for you, and she'd kind of stand back, let him have his time to take them, because he moves a little slow. He has a respiratory issue. He's got to catch his breath, wait till he's comfortable taking a pill, taking a drink of water. And then, after he takes them, she cleans up all the stuff, and she's like, anything else I can get for you? Do you need more water? Are you comfortable? Do you need an extra pillow? And she'll sit there until he's comfortable enough for her to walk out of the room. And she has like 5 other patients that she has to attend to, but she is really attentive. The other ones, they come in, here's your pills. Are you going to take them? He's like, give me a minute. Well, they're a controlled substance, so we can't leave until you take them. So, then they're just standing there, and as soon as he takes them, they're out the door. And I can understand he's getting annoyed with that. You guys can understand that, right? I know nurses work hard and they got a lot to do, but they're patients. They're sick. You have to be a little bit more attentive, and that. Otherwise, you are in the wrong profession. I know it's a good paying job, but it's not for everyone. I mean, honestly, if some of these nurses were my nurses, I would get up and walk out of the hospital and go somewhere else. That's me personally. So he's feeling better. He does good the whole day. They're going to try him on some new medications to try and help him sleep at night. I'm there till, I was planning to stay until about 8 p.m. 7:30, his girlfriend calls. And he's sitting there talking to her on the phone. And everything's still fine, except for all of a sudden she starts flipping out about something. And he gets irritated, which you can understand. He's in the hospital. He doesn't need to be dealing with this. And she starts all her same psychotic bullshit again and gets him all worked up. And then he basically kind of hangs up the phone, drops down the desk, and he's like, you know, fuck her, you know, and he's like, she's a selfish bit, you know, basically just kind of going off. And he's being very emotional. You know, he's breaking down a little bit. He's trying to hold it together. The only positive note of that is normally that would have set him into an episode of where what he calls a breathing spell, where kind of figuring out their kind of really bad anxiety attacks. Normally he would have went into one right there if he was still at home and that had happened. So the one benefit is he managed to have that emotional break and not have a panic attack on top of it. So that means that they're on the right track for what they're treating him for. They're making good progress. But now she's just set him back the whole freaking day. Now he's back to, screw this, I'm going home, get this stuff off of me, get the doctors in here, I'm leaving. I'm like, you're not leaving, you're actually doing good. You need to stay here, at least through the weekend. Let them do whatever they need to do for you and get better. Monday, if they've done all they can do, we'll get you out here and go home. But the main thing was I originally wanted to stay as long as it took. Because I don't want to get him home, and then a week later, he's fine for the week, and then all of a sudden he feels like crap again. He's calling me to run him back up to the hospital, right? So I'm like, you need to stay here. He's like, I don't need to do anything. I'm free to go whenever I want. And so I'm kind of like, you need to take a step back from yourself and look at where you're at right now. You are in the hospital. You're practically dying. You're under all this stress. And for what? For her? Is she worth it? Look at yourself right now. You're in the hospital. She doesn't give a shit. Is she worth what you're doing to yourself? And then he got kind of emotional off of me saying that. And I think part of him knew I was right in what I was saying, because he didn't yell back at me like he normally would have. He just kind of like turned away from me a bit, kind of looking at the floor or the wall, and just got silent, which I do when I get really angry, so I don't kill somebody. I'll shut down and like retreat into myself until I can find a way to vent my rage, whether it be eventually getting up and walking outside and punching a tree or whatever. So he kind of shut down and retreated into himself, but I think he understood what I was saying, and I think he agrees with me to some degree. I mean, he loves her, obviously, for some reason. I don't know. But I think he understands what I was saying, and he's kind of seeing that light finally. Because, I mean, like I said, he's the one in the hospital. She won't even come see him. So I got him to calm down. They brought him in his new pills. He was a little bit edgy with the nurses again, which, I can't blame him. But I told the nurse, it's not you. He's, there was a little bit of an issue earlier, so he's a little upset. Like, okay, well, we'll try and leave him alone. Unless he calls us. So I stayed there. I was going to leave at 8. That happened just before 8. And I ended up staying until about 11:30 until he got settled in and actually got to sleep. I watched him sleep for about a half hour just to make sure he was comfortable and he was going to stay asleep. I got up, tiptoed out of the room. I told the nurse, I said, he's resting now. It's the first time he's been able to rest in days. Just let him be unless you absolutely need to go in there. Any tests or anything, they can wait till morning. Pills, he's got all those done. Just don't bug him, please. They said, okay, we won't bug him. Well, I hear from him the next day that they did bug him. So the arrangement was that I was going to take her up to see him the next day. Well, a friend of his that normally drives her up there when I wasn't around said, well, I want to go up and see him, visit with him a little bit. I said, okay, well, I got a few things I need to take care of anyway. I haven't had time to do because I've been doing all this for him. Why don't you take her up there? I'll spend the day doing the stuff I got to do, and then we'll go from there. The next day I'll go back up by myself, or if she wants to go, I'll take her up there with me. We'll go from there. Well, she's not being adult enough to just say, look, I don't want to go see him. for whatever reason. So she gets up this morning, knows what the plan is. She goes to her doctor's appointment. She gets back from her doctor's appointment. She says, call the neighbor, let him know I'm ready to go when he is. So I call the neighbor. He goes, well, it just started raining. So he's like, well, let's wait about 5-10 minutes for the rain to let up, and then we'll take off. I said, okay, no problem. So 5 minutes goes by, and then she starts getting in the huff. She's like, well, he's not going to come over as long as it's raining, so there's no reason for me to go, so you might as well just get in the car and go up there. And, I'm like, no, I already told him I'm not coming up today. You are, whether it's now or 2 hours from now. And she goes, well, I can't be gone that long, so you just need to go. I'm like, no, you're going to go. So then she's like, well, you better hurry up and get ready and go because it's getting later and your dad's going to be mad and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I'm not going. And she's like, get up and go. I said, don't tell me what to do. I told you I got things to do today. She goes, well, you got things to do and all you're doing is laying around playing on the computer. I said, 1, half the stuff I have to do is online. 2, I'm waiting for you to get the hell out of here so I can do my stuff. I got to go to the bank and stuff. I'm making sure that he gets here and you get to go before I go worry about that stuff. So then she gets in a huff and goes in her room and slams the door. So neighbor calls almost immediately, like a minute later. He goes, the rain's starting to let up. I'm on my way over. I said, well, you might want to talk to her because she's having an attitude now. She doesn't want to go. He goes, okay, let me talk to her. So then he's talking to her. She gets pissed off, says she's not going, hangs up on him. And then I'm every dirty name in the book because I'm forcing her to go up there when she doesn't want to. I'm like, look, you don't want to be here, that's fine. But you need to go up there and tell him that to his face. Don't tell him it over the phone when he can't be here to talk, and then hang up on him so he can't be here to talk to you. You need to go up there and confront him to his face, come back here, and then you can leave. Well, then she gets pissed off at me, and I don't know what was said next. I guess I probably said something fairly negative, and she comes charging down the hall with me with her fist clenched. And, I stopped, and I said, go ahead and do it. You get 1 free one, that's all you get. Beyond that, I can't control my actions. If something happens to you, that's just what happens. I'll give you 1 free one, if that's what you really want to do. So then, of course, she's calling the neighbor back up saying that I'm over here threatening to kill her and all this stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, you dumb, stupid, fucking worthless, selfish bitch. I'm out of here. I'm done with this whole fucking situation. So I grabbed my suitcase out of the bedroom because it was the only thing I brought back up with her with me. Everything else was still here. So I get in my car, and I'm leaving, and I get halfway down the street, and I realize I still have my dad's truck keys in my pocket. So I'm going to turn around and go back and just kind of throw them in the truck so that they're there, and then take off again. And then as I'm turn around to drive back, I'm like, well, I'm right by the neighbor's house. Because he was, I say neighbor, but he was like a block and a half away. So I pull into his house, and he's just coming outside because he hears me pull up. And I said, I just need to leave these with you. I'm leaving. He goes, well, what's going on over there? Because he only heard part of it over the phone. I explained the whole thing to him, and he's like, she is literally insane, isn't she? I said, yeah, I've been telling people that forever. I don't know why my dad insists on staying with her. So my dad calls right then because I guess she called my dad up at the hospital and started complaining about the whole thing. So my dad calls the neighbor. The neighbor goes, well, he's right here. Let you talk to him. So I get on the phone. I explain the whole thing to my dad as calmly as possible. I'm like, look, she doesn't want to live with you anymore. She was trying to use you being up there as an excuse to pack her stuff and leave before you got home. I told her if that was what she was going to do, she needed to come up there and talk to you and tell you to your face. Not do it over the phone, not just disappear, be an adult and come up there and tell you. And now she's mad at me. And then he's like, well, she said you kicked her out. I said, it's not my house to kick her out of. I told her I was leaving. I packed my stuff in the car. I'm gone. He goes, no, don't do that. I need you up here. They're going to be letting me go in a couple days. And they told me I need help around the house. I can't be left alone, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I can't do this as long as she's there. If she's there, I'm not. So, left the keys with the neighbor, and now I'm back here. So, that's been my week. It's been a long week. You'd probably be seeing this video shortly after the other one because, like I said, I recorded those a while ago and just haven't had time to edit them because I've been dealing with that shit for the past week. So, yeah. Welcome to my world. So trade any of you any day. So, I'm still waiting to hear back from my dad what they found out. They were supposed to be putting him in for psych evaluation because he does have PTSD from his service in Nam, and help with depression based on that. They think that might be a lot of what's causing his anxiety. He was talking to a social worker the other day, and they actually conferred with the doctors, and the doctors came in and told him that they felt that his girlfriend was the largest cause of his anxiety, and that it might be better if she wasn't around him when he goes home. So obviously the doctors are on the same page as me. For some reason, he's just not seeing it yet. And so then, like, he's telling me the other day when I talked to him on the phone, he's like, well, why don't we just make it work until I get home and get feeling better, and then we'll get rid of her. I'm like, Dad, look, my being here was never meant to be permanent. I was only going to be here for a week or two to help you with some stuff that you need help with because you weren't feeling well and you couldn't do it anymore. I've been here a month. This was never meant to be a permanent situation. I said, I've got plans for the end of the month. I got plans for next month. I'm not going to give all that up to be here and have to deal with all the stress. I got enough shit going on in my life. I don't need her shit on top of it. So I'm back here at my mom's for now. I'm going to be going a couple places next week. As I said, we have our family reunion coming up. That'll be up in Iowa. I don't know how much filming I'll be doing there. After that, we're going back to my hometown of Michigan. Get to see some friends there and other family. I don't know how much I'll be filming there just because a lot of my friends and family don't know what this is. So I might film a few things but not really talk through them and just kind of give you guys like a example of my childhood, I guess, how I grew up. So we'll see what happens there. I'm riding up with my mom in her car, so maybe I'll just rent a car for the day and drive around places and kind of show you guys things. But other than that, probably won't be a whole lot of filming there. Then after that, as we're coming back down, we're going to stop in Tennessee for a day or two. I'm going to try and look at some cheaper storage units and maybe move my stuff out of my storage unit into something cheaper. Because like I said, when I started that storage unit, I was paying $35 a month, and now it's up to almost $80. So I can save myself a little bit of money there if I can move all the stuff. That's going to be that. And then I'll be back down here, at least temporarily, until I decide what I want to do. I'm thinking I might be moving back to Tennessee. While we're there for a couple of days, I'll probably be filling out applications and looking for work. Not sure where I'll live once I get up there, but I can find something. And we'll kind of go from there. Maybe I'll move back up to Michigan. Who knows? A friend of mine says he can get me in where he works relatively easily. Then there's still where I'm going to live. We'll see where I go from here. But that is what I'll be doing from the end of June through the first couple weeks of July. I'll probably be back around 11th or 12th or so you might not see a whole lot from me until then. I think I have a couple more movie reviews coming up. Those, like I said, those are going to be kind of few and far between right now until a money situation is figured out, because like I said, I got to save everything I have right now for moving at some point. Because this is not a permanent arrangement either. My mother currently lives in a 50s and up kind of retirement village here. She talked to the landlord. He said that I can't live here with her unless I'm over the age of 40. Got a few years before that. Not many, but a few. She tried to tell him I'm fairly quiet. I don't cause trouble. Most of the time, people don't even realize I'm in the same house with them unless I come to use the bathroom or make food or something. He goes, well, if I do it for one person, I got to do it for everyone. So right now I'm just visiting until we go up for the reunion. And, don't know what I'm going to do after that. So that's it for this episode. You've been updated. Like I said, a couple more movie reviews coming up soon. Beyond that, I don't know. Maybe I'll get back into some gaming. Now that I got my setup here. Last time I tried to record some gameplay, my computer was freaking out a little bit. I think it might have a heatsink issue. So I'll try to record some gaming, but I'm not sure how well it's going to work out. But that's also a future thing. Other than that, not much else. Oh, by the way, I dug these shirts out of storage. For those of you who used to watch me back in the live stream days a long, long time ago, you'll recognize my awesome graffiti shirts. Guy I used to work with named David used to call them my bowling shirts. I actually have 3 of them. I have this exact design, but like the blue right here, all the blue throughout this is red, and all the white is actually black. Other than that, it's the exact same design. And then I have one that's like all graffiti kind of stuff, really colorful, bright, and it's awesome. I used to have a bunch of designed shirts that I used to wear under these just because they kind of flowed well with the design. Those are all in storage, but I love these 3 shirts. They're nice and lightweight, and I live in heat, so it's a good shirt to wear. So those are back. Yay. So anyway, that is it for this update. Kind of a long one, but like I said, it's been a long week. Again, as always, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.